Hey guys, it's Greg here. I am on my lunch break down at the Milwaukee lakefront. Nice semi-windy day out there. A little bit white caps on the lake. I just went to Miss Katie's for lunch, and if you haven't been to Miss Katie's Diner, it's one of the icons of diners in Milwaukee, and it has been visited by presidents of the United States and chancellors of Germany and numerous other people. Still a great place. I was in the shop working and was getting a headache, and it occurred to me that I hadn't eaten anything today yet, so go down there and get some food. Been working in the shop today on an electric bike conversion for Tony and a couple other small repairs. Which is great because there's, work to do. But if I haven't mentioned this before, I have 3 different projects going on, and it's probably too many. I still have the bike shop, although we don't have a retail location anymore. We're on the 2nd floor in our old warehouse space. Have a full shop and everything, which is fine, but we haven't been getting any of that normal walk-in traffic you'd get having a retail location. So it's been a challenge for, that business. Fatbike.com I spent a lot of time on, and thanks to Sealy Dave for helping with Fatbike.com as we reboot it after it was kind of basically destroyed from the previous management of that website. And we've got it back to where we're getting good content, we're getting reviews again, we're doing a lot of work, and I had assumed, probably falsely, that we could start to get advertisers again. And due to tariffs and a bunch of other headwinds in the bike industry, that's more of a challenge than I anticipated. And putting a lot of work into something that's not paying any money is probably not the greatest idea in the world. I do assume that once winter comes, the fat bike season, as people understand it, is going strong again. We'll have some buy-in back for the advertising on the site, but it's changed. The I don't know what you call it. For lack of a better word, I don't have a word for it right now. Anyway, it's changed since I left the business in 2017 when we were kind of at the height of the fat bike craze. It was pretty easy to get advertising, and the site did well. I assume, again, like I said, that it can make some money again, but I don't see it getting back to that exalted status. It's still the #1 site in the world for what it is, but having put a bunch of time into that and doing these kind of small jobs at the bike shop takes up a lot of time when I really should be working on the new business, which is the podcast studio, and the one of the 3 that by far I think has the most potential. In Milwaukee, there really isn't a studio dedicated to doing podcasts and video podcasts. There are several recording studios where you could go in, but it's really not their main thing. They're more, for bands and whatnot. This is going to be specifically geared towards podcasters, and I really need to, I need to get the time to do that, and that is going to mean kind of letting these others go, but at the same time, I need to make money. So it's been a challenge. The last 6 weeks to 2 months have been really cash flow poor, and I need, I just need to figure this all out, but the podcast studio has had its first paying customer already last week, and so that's a good thing, but it's not 100% complete. For this guy, it worked really well because he had his own backdrop from trade shows that he set up and did a Riverside FM podcast with another fellow who is kind of the expert in his industry, and I think that worked really well. It was a super session, and we are ready to rent out 1 studio now and have 3 other sets available soon. So I just want to make sure that we get that done before we run out of money, and that's been the challenge. And having the money worries is very taxing and stresses me out a lot. It takes time away because I'm thinking about that and how to make some money to pay the bills and keep the lights on, when I should be thinking about how to push the business forward. And so, it's a challenge. And coming down to the lake and relaxing a little bit and not thinking about that and maybe talking to you fine folks helps me clear my mind a little bit and maybe get back to focusing on what needs to get focused on at the time. Today, that's going to be finishing these bikes up because get a little money for that. But yeah, I think it's a balancing act, and I'm not necessarily the best balancer. I tend to go for the thing that makes me the happiest at the time and that I think I want to do, like sit here, experiment with doing this type of a video, and have fun doing stuff like that, when in reality, this, if it ever does get anywhere, it's going to take a long time to get there. But I wanted to do it today, so here I am taking a 10-minute break on my way back to the shop, and having had lunch, I think my headache's gone and I can kind of finish off the rest of the afternoon. So I'll be back next time. I think is something that's worth saying. I think my whole point of this one today was that I need to clear my brain out, and I need a better way to prioritize. And it's going to be we're going to make some changes, and I think I know what those are, but it's a little early for me to say I'm all in on them. So anyway, it's Greg. Hope you're having a good day. Let me know if you got any suggestions on how to do this focus thing, and I'll catch you next time.